News at 4 begins now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Whitney Ward.
Breaking news tonight. Huge news regarding the COVID vaccine here in Washington State. In just a few weeks, it will be available to all adults. That means any adult who wants a shot will now be eligible for one.
Our political reporter Casey Decker is joining us live now from the newsroom with what we just heard from Governor Jay Inslee. Hi, Casey.
Hey, Whitney, it's the news that a lot of people have been waiting for. Soon, you will no longer need to be a senior or have a certain job or have comorbidities to get vaccinated. If you're over the age of 16, you'll become eligible for the shot. Now, this will take effect on April 15th. That's 4 months to the date of the first shots in Washington. It comes as supply of all three vaccines continues to ramp up, and as other states like Idaho have already made the decision to open up eligibility to the whole adult population. Now, regardless of individual state decisions, President Biden has already mandated all adults be eligible by May 1st, but this announcement from Governor Inslee means Washington will beat that goal by just under 2 weeks.
We have such a great opportunity to defeat this virus in Washington State. A little more than 1 million Washingtonians over the age of 16, of course, will still be waiting for their eligibility. And today I'm very pleased to tell you that their wait will be shortened. Starting April 15th, 2 weeks from today, and just 4 months since we started our vaccination program, all Washingtonians over 16 will be eligible. So beginning on April 15th, all remaining Washingtonians over the age 16 will be eligible. We have 4 out of 5 million eligible today. It'll be great to finish that remaining 1 million folks in our state. We are confident we can take this step because of our dosage allocations have increased.
Inslee also said expanding eligibility became important because we're seeing some small surges of COVID within certain populations. For instance, many colleges have reported disturbing numbers across the state following spring break and that move to phase 3. The hope, of course, is the vaccine can be used as a weapon to stop those surges from getting bigger and requiring restrictions to become re-implemented. So in just a couple of weeks, no more worrying about what phase you're in. If you're 16 or older, you'll be eligible on April 15th. Whitney, Tom?
All right, Casey, thank you very much. And also brand new tonight in the 4 o'clock hour, we are hearing for the first time from the priest who was saved from that St. Charles Elementary School fire.
Yeah, the North Spokane school has been closed since the fire happened 2 weeks ago. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley joins us now from St. Charles tonight.
Good evening. Just about 2 weeks ago, Father Esteban Soler, who lives here in the rectory on campus at St. Charles, was woken abruptly by a Spokane police officer to the fire going on here just those few weeks ago. Today, he spoke for the first time publicly, saying he is grateful for that Spokane police officer and for the outpouring of support from the community. Now, as for the suspect who police have arrested and believe was responsible for starting the fires here, Father Esteban Soler said he is glad police have caught him so that he doesn't cause any harm to others or himself, and prays that he gets the help that he needs. Now, here is the priest's account of what happened that early morning.
I was frustrated more than scared, actually, probably because I was still asleep and trying to, realize the situation, what's happening, and then thinking of all the things that I needed to think. I called Heather, the principal, right away because we needed to have a plan to early in the morning inform the parents that we were not having classes, the other steps that we needed to take in order to advise parishioners and take care of business.
Now, the priest gave us a tour on looking through the windows of the outside of his living quarters today, and you could just see part of the extent of the damage that this fire caused. He did have a chance to pack a small bag of things before leaving here and staying elsewhere for the time being, but you can just see how devastating that damage is from the fire. Now, students who go to this school here at St. Charles Elementary, they are still in remote learning, and I'm told the church has also rented a tent in preparations for services this coming week. They'll be posting updates on when that tent will be usable. They'll be posting it up in the lawn behind the church so they can have service outside. If anything, they will have service for Easter Sunday, but they'll be posting updates about that on their website. Reporting in North Spokane tonight, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. And of course, we'll continue to keep people updated on the progress of that, as well as Easter Sunday services. And let's talk about that too just a little bit, because it looks like we may have more days like this, and we like the way this looks.
Yeah, the park looks absolutely beautiful. That's Riverfront Park. That's a live shot downtown. Here's a look at the weather headlines for you. We'll look for a beautiful afternoon, then clear and cold temperatures overnight. Partly cloudy and warmer on Thursday. We could get to the mid-60s tomorrow. I mean, it's really going to be a nice day. Sunny and warm on Friday, and then for the weekend, Easter weekend, I've got mostly cloudy skies and seasonal conditions. 56, that's the current temperature. You can see the wind is out of the south-southwest right now at 8 miles per hour. Your day planner forecast calling for partly cloudy skies overnight. Not as cold as the past two evenings or overnights have been. We'll look for a low of 33, and then look at that. 66 degrees expected on your Thursday. Looking ahead to the weekend, I've got 64 on Friday. It's a beautiful Easter with a pretty warm overnight low of only 41 Sunday morning, so it won't be a chilly Easter bunny, and we'll look for a daytime high of 63 degrees. I'll check the rest of your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. Well, after the Gonzaga men's basketball team won the Elite Eight last night, GU students may have taken their celebrations just a little too far.
Yeah, Spokane police received dozens of disturbance calls about a crowd of Gonzaga students gathering in the streets. So when the police arrived, oops, they saw that. This is at East Nora and Dakota Street. They said they found about 400 people in the streets and multiple couches burning. SPD confirms there were no arrests. Instead, they focused on de-escalating the situation, and eventually the group just broke up on its own.
This has not been much different than any other large party that SPD has had to respond to on the outlying campus area. But again, the students were quite cooperative and respectful. Many of them actually wanted to try and take pictures with the police. So we respect their cooperation with us, and we hope that if they gather again, they do it responsibly.
He's also talking about how many of them were not wearing masks and obviously not social distancing. So Gonzaga University's president, Thane McCullough, tweeted about the crowd of students, calling the non-compliance with SPD and campus security unacceptable.
Well, today the university sent out this statement regarding the celebrations. It says the excitement of the moment is no excuse for unsafe behavior, and it plans to communicate with its students about safe practices and the potential consequences of their actions. In anticipation of the Final Four this weekend, Gonzaga is also going to be working to offer venues where students can gather safely and share their spirit for the team.
And of course, for just the second time in school history, Gonzaga now headed to the Final Four. Last night, the team just breezed right by the Trojans of USC as they continue their historic trek now toward a national title. Yeah, the Bulldogs' success over the years continues to attract blue chip recruits, but it's not just the team that benefits from their success on the court. Our Brenna Green and Mark Hanrahan join us live in Indianapolis tonight. And Mark, you spoke with Gonzaga's president about what basketball has done for the school.
I did, Tom. First off, I'll say good evening from downtown Indianapolis, where it's a bit breezy, but at least the sun is shining. And we're now just 3 days away from tip-off of the Final Four game.
Yeah, it looks like we brought that Spokane wind with us here to Indianapolis. Yes, all eyes on Gonzaga as they try to make history in the basketball world and go undefeated.
And Thane McCullough, the president of GU, will be the first to admit going back to the tournament year after year has brought the university a lot of exposure they wouldn't otherwise get. I mean, they'll be one of 4 teams playing in Lucas Oil behind us here on Saturday. And that notoriety, that exposure has generated more interest in the school and ultimately more applications.
Well, let's see. I wanted to find one in particular.
Between conference titles and deep tournament runs, Gonzaga president Thane McCullough has plenty of hardware, including the ring from the last and only other time the Bulldogs went to the Final Four.
So this is Gonzaga's Final Four ring, and
McCullough says he brings the ring to tournament appearances for good luck and to spark conversation. And this year there is plenty to talk about.
Well, I think that it's unbelievable.
The team's been rolling through the tournament, winning their first 4 games by an average of 24 points.
It's a remarkable experience to be a part of, and I'm just grateful that we have the chance to do this and to see them advance as they have this year.
The team's continued success on the court has been a catalyst for the university's success. Since GU's Cinderella run back in '99, enrollment has increased by more than 80%. The budget has more than doubled. The school built a new basketball arena, baseball complex, and the multi-million-dollar student center.
Well, without question, I think the university has benefited from the profile that media coverage of basketball at the national level has created for us.
President McCullough points out that basketball isn't the school's sole driver and that its academic programs and mission attract a lot of attention too. But having one of the nation's top teams has undoubtedly helped Gonzaga grow.
And as a result, we've seen growing interest from across the country and around the world in what we do as a university. It's been great.
As for all those rings, he's hoping to add to his collection.
Love that laugh right there. By the way, Brennan, the last time Gonzaga, well, the only time Gonzaga played in a national championship game, roughly 23 million people tuned in for the game. That's the kind of exposure other institutions simply dream of.
Yes, and the kind of exposure basketball programs dream of is having high-level NBA players, and the Zags keep adding and adding. They happen to be in Indianapolis right now, where their highest level profile player right now, Domantas Sabonis, plays. I talked to him today. He said that he is not going to be able to attend any of the Final Four games, or if Gonzaga makes the national championship game due to NBA COVID protocols, but he is still fervently watching this team, even if they're just down the road.
Just really excited for the team, the program, for the coaches, and I wanted to win the whole thing.
Gonzaga is 2 games away from doing just that. They've impressed Domantas Sabonis throughout this entire NCAA tournament run.
They got a lot of guys, they're stacked, they have a lot of depth, and that's dangerous, especially come tournament time, no matter who's in the court, they're playing at 100%.
Normally, this would be a dream scenario for Domas. He would get to be around the team a ton before their Final Four run due to the tournament being played in his city. Not this year.
It sucks, I'm texting with the coaches, with Tommy, Hugh, some of the guys, and not being able to see them is not fun.
Undoubtedly, if the 2-time NBA All-Star were able to be around the team, he'd be asked to give them advice to get through the next 2 games. Domas says he doesn't have any, but for good reason.
There's not much I can say, they've all made it further than I ever have, with the team, they made it to Final Four, so just keep doing what you're doing, They're playing calm, they're playing poised, they're taking their time. Everything they're doing is great, I just hope they stay that way and finish it off.
Sabonis hopes they finish it off for a lot of reasons, but high up on the list is for the people he knows this would mean a lot to.
Everything to everyone, the city, Spokane, it's something we've been dreaming for a long time, and to finally get it would be amazing. Especially do it undefeated would be even better.
What's funny, Mark, is that this wind was died down the entire package, and I decided to come back right now. Domas did mention to me that he has been able to get Gonzaga staff members tickets, or staff members' wives tickets to Pacers games, so it's been good to see them. It must be so weird for him, because Lucas Oil Stadium, where they're going to play the Final Four, just a mile away from Baker's Life Fieldhouse, where he plays. So, they're right on top of each other.
Yeah, it's a strange situation indeed. And Brennan, quickly, Domas left Gonzaga early. Does he have some eligibility that he can maybe come back for another year?
I have a feeling he doesn't want to play basketball for free anymore. That might be it.
All right. Yeah. All right, that is the latest from Indy. For Brennan and I, we'll send things back to you, Tom and Whitney.
Thank you so much. It's a good reminder. We were just talking about kind of during the interview. It was so fun to watch them. At the time, we thought, man, they'll just never be any better than this. And they look so young, and you forget that they're just kids. They're so young, full of promise.
Teenagers.
Yes. Just full of promise and the world at their feet.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I forgot that Sabonis didn't go farther. I thought he went to the Final Four, and he didn't. And I thought that, as you just mentioned, I thought that was the best team.
So fun to watch. Lots of good memories. By the way, you can only watch Gonzaga in the Final Four right here on KREM 2. They're up against the UCLA Bruins for a spot, of course, in the national championship. So tip-off this Saturday is at 5:34 p.m. And we will also have live coverage from Indianapolis Indianapolis following the game, and we will be carrying the post-game press conference live as well. So you can catch all of that on Saturday, and you'll only catch it right here on KREM 2.
We're going to